friends, it's Carly and I am back again with another review. So last time we started our Shang-Chi action figure series with Katie, and we really just started with that because I wanted to look at Morris. But today we're going to look at another female action figure in this series. I took a really long hiatus, and you know I've had some issues with the way that Marvel Legends deals with their female action figures in the past. So I wanted to see if they had made any substantial changes with these figures, especially since it's a martial arts action figure series. I wasn't really impressed with what they did with Katie, particularly because they had that long vinyl overlay. She wasn't as mobile as she should be, although I do have a friend who has a fan theory about Katie and her origins and who she might be. If you guys are interested in that, you can go to my Facebook page. You can find that at Annoying Car. It's the Annoying You with Friendship Facebook page. Send me a DM over there and I can share with you his entire theory. It might explain a little bit about why she wasn't mobile in that action figure, and a little bit about where she comes from. That's a digression. But I wanted to look at another female action figure in the line today to see if we got something any different, and if there are any improvements to the line. So today we are going to be taking a look at Xialing. Here she is. We're going to be taking a look at this figure today because she doesn't have that vinyl outfit over her. And we can really get an idea of what we're getting with the articulation on the figures in this series. Now, before I get started talking about the figure itself, I want to talk about the pronunciation of the name. That's really important to me. It might seem like a minor detail to you, but that is an issue that is really near and dear and close to my heart. I think it's a matter of utmost respect to pronounce people's names correctly, and I really work hard to try to do that. So this character's name is spelled Xialing, and I wasn't really sure how to pronounce it. I checked on the internet, I checked out some other reviewers' videos, which you know I don't do very often, to see how they were pronouncing it, and I saw a lot of people pronouncing it Xialing, which to me didn't really make sense. From the English pronunciation perspective, the IA would be pronounced doesn't really phonetically make sense with the I sound, and from the Chinese perspective, the X sound would be more of a sh sound. So I was really sort of just confuzzled, and I didn't think that that would be the correct way to pronounce it. So I Googled everywhere trying to find the correct pronunciation of this name, and it seems like this is a name that Marvel maybe just made up. So there was no instances that I could find anywhere of Xialing, but I was able to find a pronunciation for Xialing, and the pronunciation of that name is Xialing. So for the purposes of this video, I will be pronouncing this character's name Xialing. And if anyone has any correction or knows anything better that I should be saying if I'm doing it wrong, please share that in the comments, and I guess we will just wait and see how they pronounce it in the movie. Since it seems like it's something that Marvel just made up, maybe they will call her Xialing, or yeah, who knows, Xialing or Xialing or Xialing, or who knows, but I will be pronouncing her name Xialing for the purpose of this video. I just got lost in all those other pronunciations because that was the best I was able to find. If you know of any other correct pronunciation or better pronunciation, please let me know, and when we see the movie, we'll find out what's best. So all we know so far is that Xialing is Shang-Chi's sister, that she has been living in isolation and she comes out of isolation in order to help him defeat the 10 Rings. She only has one small clip in the trailer, and that is her fighting hand to hand. She looks awesome. We are going to be looking at her accessories first, and I'm really sort of cracking up about her accessories. You guys know, again, as I've said, I hardly ever watch other people's videos, and that's just because I don't want to be influenced by them. I'm not an expert in any sense of the word. I really just sort of talk about the way that I feel about toys when I'm reviewing them. and I don't know a lot of technical terms. So when I tell this story, this could literally be the technical term, but I could not stop laughing when I heard this. So when I was looking for the pronunciation of Xialing's name, I saw a video, and I do not know the reviewer, but she comes with a number of sets of hands, and we're gonna look at all of them. But the first set, this particular reviewer, the set that's on her, he referred to as her salute hands. And for some reason to me, I found that absolutely hilarious, just because of the context of the character. You guys, I feel like context really matters in this situation because we're looking at a martial arts action figure. Like, I mean, okay, yeah, this is a salute. They can be used to salute. I mean, that's great. It actually works really well on this character, but she's a martial artist. Like, what about this figure is gonna be saluting? So that I chuckled about for like 20 minutes, and then I decided to give all of her other hands silly names that make no sense with the character. So the other hands that we have that come with her are these are what I'm calling her chef's kiss hands. And then we have her, we're gonna do them like this. These will be her, I don't know if I can make them focus when I do it. We'll try. Her fist bump hands. And then this is her Jersey Shore hand. We'll call it the fist pump hand, right? So she's only got one of those. I know that that's so silly and actually a little bit petty, but I could not stop laughing at the salute hand when she's obviously like a hand-to-hand martial artist fighter. Like, it's a chopping hand. But anyway, and that, like I said, I am no expert. That literally could be what this type of hand is called on an action figure. So I could be just exposing myself to everybody as the person who knows nothing that I am. But oh my goodness, I could not stop laughing at what a silly expression of this hand that was in the context of this being a martial artist character. That's just a silly side story. But those are the hands that she comes with, and I think it's an excellent array. Back to the actual figure. I think it's an excellent array for her to fight with. So we really get a great array of accessories, and then we get this awesome whip that has like a, you know, sort of like a, almost what looks like an arrowhead at the end of it. We do not get to see her use this in the preview, and in the preview she is wearing an all black costume. So I'm really hopeful for a second wave of figures for the Shang-Chi movie to come out after the movie is released, because honestly, the figures that we have don't really match the figures or the outfits that we see in the first trailer. So fingers crossed we'll get a second wave of them too. But let's go ahead and talk about the things that are so great about Xialing. So first of all, with Katie, one of the things that really, really bothered me was the dull, flat sort of countenance of Katie. And I really think that is greatly improved with Xialing here. Now, while she does have a very serious expression, that sort of suits the impression that we get of the character right off the bat, not only in the very brief exposure we get to her in the preview, but also in the backstory that we get with her being off in isolation by herself and only coming out to fight. And, you know, just the expression of her being a very serious fighter. So I think that it suits her, but we do get a little bit more color in her face. So with the Katie figure, it was very dull. It was very one note. And with Xialing, we're getting notes and undertones in definition in her cheekbones, around her eyes, around her mouth. She has lip color, eye color, not so much that it looks like a makeup look. I hate to even talk about it that way, but that it looks like the tones of a human face. So I'm really, really happy with the way that they made her face look much more fleshed out, much more developed. So she does have a little bit of a vinyl piece on her tunic here, but it goes down above where her thigh turn is, so it doesn't hinder any of the motion of her, you know, because she has the turn up here. She doesn't have like a waist, but we still get a full range of motion in her articulation here. Let's go back up. I'm getting ahead of myself here. We have a really great range of motion. What I love, I want to start with the head because this is the greatest expression of all of the points of articulation on this figure. Every single point of articulation on her is buttery smooth and goes all the way through its paces. So it goes all the way through 360 degrees. It turns all the way around, whether it's the elbow, the wrist, her waist here. You can see we have nice rocking motion. Let me get focus again. Sorry about that. Nice rocking motion, backward, forward motion. We just have this really nice, complete, natural, sort of flowing, watery kind of articulate movement that allows for a range of poses that's incredible. I've been watching people post their pictures of these figures on my toy groups on Facebook, and if you're in any of these groups, you've probably seen something similar, or Instagram. They are incredible. The balance and the poses that people are getting with these is really amazing, and I think Xialing is one of the best examples of this. This might be because she has such a lightweight upper body. Her upper torso is very narrow, very thin, very narrow, and very lightweight. So that could be an advantage for her as opposed to the male figures, which we'll look at a little bit later. But one way or the other, the poses that you get with her are absolutely incredible. So her lateral lift isn't as high, and I'm not really able to turn her thigh to improve that. You know, sometimes when you can't get a straight up, you know, lift to 90 degrees just in the hip like this, a lateral lift straight to the side, you can sort of turn the hip and improve it. I'm not really able to improve it as much as I would like to. You can see a little bit, but it's not as good as I would like it to be. So that's a bit of a disappointment that I can't get sort of like the flat split that I would like. That is almost the only complaint that I have with this figure. We have really smooth turning in the thighs. The knees are great. They go all the way up very smoothly. And then the feet have traditionally been great on female figures and continue to be with these. There is literally nothing wrong with anything about her from the waist down. She also has a bit of a bulkier, because of the pant sculpt, a bit of a bulkier lower body, I think, than we see on female action figures typically. So with her sort of waifish upper body that is very light and very thin and sort of delicately balanced and with a lot of room to change her center of gravity, and a slightly bulkier lower body, again, you're really able to get a full range of motion to create just unbelievable poses with like one leg up, with her leaning back to the side, forward. Just really incredible things you can do with this figure. I will be taking some photographs and sharing them on my Instagram and on my Facebook page just to sort of demonstrate that. I'm not as good as other people, but I highly recommend you sort of look for hashtags on Xialing and see what people are doing with her. I definitely recommend that you look for both spellings because I have seen a lot of people misspelling her name. So the correct spelling is Xialing, but people are also spelling it Xailing. So you can find both. But look for this action figure, look for people's photography because she's really incredible. It's really hard for me to draw focus on the beautiful paintwork and the pattern work on her tunic, but it is stunning. And this is also textured like Katie's tunic was. But this one for me is just a little bit more effective. I think that it's because the figure itself from top to bottom is just worked better. I think that because her face is better, even her hair is better. So the sculpt on her hair is a little bit more realistic. It doesn't interfere with anything the way that Katie's hair did in some ways. Everything about this figure is just a little bit better wrought for me than Katie was. So it all just comes together more seamlessly and more beautifully. And I just really like Xialing. I think this is a really successful piece, and I'm really excited to play with her and see, you know, what else we can do with her and what kinds of photographs we can take with her and how we can pose her. I think she's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really excited to know more about her character. I feel like they keep her really mysterious in the preview, and I'm excited to see what this character is really about. There isn't much to find on the internet, but I did read some speculation that she might be drawn most from Shang-Chi's comic book sister Esme. So that's a possibility. Either way, I'm very excited to know more about her. I can't wait to see what she has in store for us. So let me know what you guys think about the Xialing character. Let me know about the pronunciation of her name. If I'm getting it correct, if I've gotten it incorrect, please let me know. What kinds of poses you're doing, where your photographs are, where you are posting most. If you're interested in the fan theory that I know about Katie, or that I've heard about Katie, send me a DM over on Facebook at Annoying Car, and I'll share that with you. And what you think about my hand names, and actually if this is actually called a salute hand, because it is a salute hand, but come on. All right, so that is that on Xialing. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and let me know what you want to see next. It looks like once a week is going to be the best schedule for me to make videos, but if I can do one more frequently, I will. I'll just throw them up whenever I can. Once a week seems to be best, but we'll see. I'll do my best. And let me know what video you want to see next. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been really fun to be back again, and I look forward to doing another one soon. Thank you. I'll see you guys soon. Bye, friends.